it made for you know, an uncomfortable scene between he and I. That's all I'm saying. And God bless him wherever he is. You're lucky you weren't outside that high school.
Well, once Eric left and went right back to the parking lot, the same scene that you had been doing with Eric, you started doing with Michael. What was the difference?
I don't know if there's just gel, you know, there was no, and it's been like that all the way through all of it. First, second, third, Back to the Future set. We never had to work to get the chemistry going between us. There. And the personality, whatever, it was passion. And it was great. Also, I had a much more pure kind of way with things. Fluid and fun, you know, quick, spirited, and witty. So, it was good.
How was he in the cafeteria, Tom?
He asked me how he was in the cafeteria. He was just funny. He was great. Michael and I got along very famously from the very beginning. It's the, you know, it's the old saw of Laurence Olivier to Dustin Hoffman in Marathon Man that all the actors have heard. But if you hadn't heard it, I'll make sure. But Marathon Man and Dustin Hoffman, in order to be exhausted, in order to be absolutely beside himself in this story, and he stayed up all night, and he just exhausted himself with running. And he shows up to the set, and Laurence Olivier, the grand elderly actor at that point, says, "My dear boy, it's so much easier if you just act." So, you know, as Michael Caine says to the great fencing teachers trying to teach him how to fence and everything, he says, "I don't have to know how to fence. I have to look like I know how to fence." So there was a lot. So Michael, being the actor, his experience, he had just come off of Teen Wolf. So I think he was quite happy to be on this major production and everything. So he was like all of us at that time. He wasn't the big star. He was, wow, movies and cameras and that thing with a Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis directed movie. But he had a great ear for comedy. You know, he had a great sense of the physical bit. I mean, there are wonderful bits that he does. Wonderful bits. I mean, watch that movie and see when he's getting back into the DeLorean in order to go back when he's going to drive through the town square and be electrocuted. He runs across the town square, jumps onto the car, you know, slides his fanny across the car, catches the door of the car, and gets in. I mean, it's really a feat of kind of physical comedy in a movie that's like what Buster Keaton would have done it that way. I mean, it was just beautiful, like boom, like that. That you just have to watch it a few times. Just look at what he's doing in that. So he had a great sense of physical comedy, a great sense of just where the line comes in, where the pauses are, and all those things. And that was apparent right off the bat.
Because of all the craziness going 6 weeks and then having to refilm and bring in a new actor, you know, when you're making a movie, you never know how it's going to turn out. You can hope, but Bob Zemeckis told me he was sure that his career was done after this. What was the first sign that you each had that Back to the Future was going to be a huge hit?
I don't know. I just I didn't imagine how the way things turned out. How it became such a endless hit, the way it is still today. It seems. I just hope it would be a great opening and that it would have a really good run, and it's still running. I remember. I don't remember if you were there or not, but I probably would. We did a music video up in the San Francisco area, and it was an all-night thing. background to the film. And I remember some of us were sitting to the side while we were resetting the lights or something, and it was just kind of walked over, looked at us.
I told you, rock and roll.
Wait, come on, slide. Huey Lewis kind of came over to us and he said, "Is this going to do anything?" I thought, well, is this going to do anything? And it launched all of us.
Yeah. In movie making, there's a thing called a wallet group. This is a thing in post-production, the movie's done, but they need little tiny things like people's voices in a store, the people at the table next to you, just their little conversation. My friend is the voice of the tow truck driver driving in George McFly's car. You know, so they do that sort of thing. So, you know, back, breaker wander, you've got a thing about it, whatever. All those sorts of little interstitial talking. And my friend worked on many, many movies. Right? So he did the Walla group for Back to the Future, where they're all on microphones and they watch the movie. And they just fill it in with little sounds, and they bring those sounds up and down. He called me at my house. He says, "You're in that thing, Back to the Future." I said, "Well, yeah." He said, "It's really good." I said, "It is? What?" He says, "I watch everything. It's really good." Oh, okay, great. But then, Back to the Future, we had, you know, it was long overproduction and everything. It was late. So they were trying to get it in. Back then, you sort of audition your movie in a way to the movie theaters. They went to screenings of the theater owners to see how many screens would Back to the Future have. They showed a black and white print. It wasn't finished because they were trying to work 24 hours to edit Back to the Future, or make it ready. They showed the theater directors this kind of rough cut of it with some black and white things, and the theater owners went crazy for it. And they moved it up to the July 4th weekend. And then, you know, there are many, and then you're thinking, wow, that's a good sign. And then there was the first cast and crew screening where they invite industry members and everything. It was the Academy of Motion Picture Theater and everything. They showed the movie, and the movie industry, is very famous for being tepid about movies. Oh, very nice, well done. I wish I was in that. Really good job. I would have done that better. You were that. So they show Back to the Future, and the curtains close, and everyone is applauding. I mean, wildly applauding. Like you need a standing ovation, going crazy. And so everyone's looking at each other like, boy, they really liked it. But they kept applauding throughout all of the credits roll, the entire crew, and people are pounding you on the back. And that's what the first inkling, well, maybe this movie is great, you know? Because people are like, no, it's a great movie, fantastic.